Right, personal data of millions of Facebook users has been leaked online. 530 million people have been caught up in the hack, including more than 7 million Australians.
Yeah, phone numbers, locations, birth dates, full names and in some cases email addresses have been posted publicly. The data came from the 2019 hack at the social media giant.
Joining us now is cybersecurity expert and former hacker Kevin Mitnick. Good morning, Kevin. Now, the data was obtained 2 years ago, but that doesn't make it any less serious.
No, data was obtained 2 years ago. It was being monetized by bad actors that were selling this data. Now they decided to make it free. So they basically just published the same data again.
Okay, so let's talk about you for a second.
Okay.
Because you personally penetrated the systems of more than 40 corporations.
Back 2 decades ago.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Because we're just getting into the mind of the people who do this sort of thing. You actually went to jail for what you did, didn't you? So tell us that these hackers would know what's at stake. Why are they doing this?
Well, it was different in my case. It was all for challenge. It wasn't for profit. Now, 2 decades later, a lot of these bad actors are obviously monetizing this data. And so the risk of being caught is pretty slim these days. And you have everyone around the world that is dealing in what we call data breaches, and they're selling this data. So companies are compromised, the data is put out there, and then what they do is they combine these databases. So you might have name and address here, you might have phone and email here. They combine it, and they get enough information that they could monetize it by doing identity theft.
So who's buying, who's selling? Who are the bad actors, and who are they selling to?
Bad actors around the world. You have, like for example, in the Telegram application, you have many different chat rooms where throughout the day you can monitor these chat rooms, and it's just a bunch of fraudsters trading, selling, and defrauding people. And you could see it in plain sight. It's almost like they're out in the open because of the chances of being caught is pretty slim. So in reference to the Facebook breach, I actually was able to obtain the Australian file last night, 7.3 million Australians. Most of it was really the first name, last name, and phone number. We had about 245,000 dates of birth and about 46,000 email addresses in that file. So what the real risk is to Australians here is spam, and also with the phone number, in a lot of cases, now you have direct access to Australian phone numbers to people here that have Facebook accounts. So you can go to a particular website, and based on the user ID that's exposed in this data breach, you could now plug that in, search on that user ID in this database, and get that person's mobile number. What the real threat here is what we call smishing. This is phishing. Smishing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what that is rather than sending a bad actor sending a phish to somebody's email account, they send a malicious text message to your phone. And imagine you click on this, you think it's legitimate, you think it's coming from Westpac, for example, and you might go ahead and put in your username and password. So it allows the bad actors to essentially trick you into giving up your username and password, which they can abuse later.
Don't make it worse by giving any of those details at all.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, the bottom line is you should, if you receive a link by text message and you didn't do something to initiate that text message coming in, don't follow through with it because it could be an attack.
Yeah, and the scary thing is, you just said most of them don't get caught. That's
true,
doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We thank you very much for explaining this morning. It's frightening, isn't it? Yeah.